I'm doing an 11k sponsored walk for Bath Cats and Dogs Home.
There's two things that Rufus loves most in this world. One is books and one is dogs.
How much have you raised so far?
238.
A couple of weeks ago, he said to me, "Mummy, I want to do like a sponsored walk for charity." And I think it's because I told him about a time where I think I was about 8 or something, and I decided that I wanted to do a sponsored bike ride for a dog charity near where I lived. And I did this, wasn't allowed to cycle anywhere except on my driveway, so I did 100 laps of my driveway and asked all my neighbours to sponsor me. Made £11, took it into the charity, and I told Rufus this story and he was like, "I could do that, I want to do that."
You think you can do the 11k walk okay?
Yeah?
You sure? You've never walked
Yeah.
that far?
Doesn't matter.
Why are you holding it under your chin like that?
I don't know.
Come on, you know better. This. You're the son of a world famous vlogger. It's like that.
You're not a world famous vlogger.
Yes, I am.
No, you're not.
Yes,
Don't
yeah.
listen to him, people.
So I set him up a little GoFundMe page for the local cats and dogs shelter, the Bath Cats and Dogs Home. He did some posters, and then Stef did a poster with him.
Let me show you Rufus's poster he made for his sponsored dog walk. I love these little facts he has around the dog. The skull protects the brain and gives shape to a dog's face. Nails or claws at the end of each toe prevent slipping when a dog runs.
The poster was a little bit graphic. The dog had a massive penis, and I was a bit like, "Are you sure you want to put that one online? You want to rub the penis out?" And he was like, "Well, big dogs have big penises, Mum."
Came up and showed me this. He was so proud of it, but I managed to convince him to create something a little bit more, I don't know, like visually understandable, because this is a little bit of a mess, if I'm honest. So I redesigned it for him, and then Hannah and him went out and pasted them in the local shop and up at the park and stuff like that.
It was all like his idea. He really wanted to do it, and he was really keen to like start making posters. But yeah, he has managed to raise £615 so far, which is double what he wanted to raise, what his target was, which is absolutely insane. I'm so proud of him.
I wonder when men run, you're like women wear bras. Why wouldn't men want to wear like support for your willy?
If you've got a good pair of pants, then you don't need willy support. Your willy kind of shrinks when you're running as well. They call it runner's willy.
Yeah, we did a big 11k walk, which is a very long walk for somebody with such little legs, but he did really well.
How's the walk going so far, Roo?
Really good.
Are you tired?
Except my ankles ache.
I'm going to leave the link to his fundraising page because it's still kind of like slowly trickling up and up, so I don't want to press the donate button yet, just in case there's a few more of you who might want to sponsor him.
Look, this is Rufus. Rufus, this is a cow. Do you like him?
Why does he have numbers on his ear?
Why does he have numbers on his ear? I guess that's like his name. He's 607092.
Bye-bye, 60992.
I'll see you in 5, guys. When this hits 6.83, we're done.
So, are we done?
6.83, you're done. Yeah. You're done. Well done, Roo.
Yeah.
Well done, kiddo. Did he do it?
Yeah.
Just when we got home as well, he made it.
I don't know why it says 99%, but 300
Ah.
out of 300 target.
Awesome. Well done, Roo. There we
It's
go.
good to get home, babes, isn't it?
Yeah. This sofa is 2 things. The first thing is it's the most comfortable sofa in the world. They call this the cloud or something. It is so divine to sit on. But every evening, basically, you sit on it. It means that the next day you have to fluff the cushions and make the sofa. Like it's almost like making a bed, but more tedious. But once you've done it and you sit on it, you're just like, wow. Yeah, I don't know if we're going to be able to take it to Portugal because it's very big. It's like being cuddled by 4 Sydney Sweeneys. I'm such a creepy 40-year-old. Do not disturb unless bringing food. Rufus, you do know you have a bedroom. You don't have to sleep in the hallway, you know that, yeah? Just set Hannah's weekly online yoga class up.
I have recently started teaching my online yoga class every Wednesday again. I don't know why I stopped doing it for so long. It's one of those things where I kind of needed to stop doing it for when we were away on holiday, like camper vanning, because it was just the logistics of trying to find Wi-Fi and finding a spot and planning a class whilst in a van full time with children was a little bit tricky. And then, you know, it's just never a good time to commit. I find it really hard to commit to things, and I think that's like partly whatever. I'm not diagnosed with any kind of neurodiversity, but I'm definitely neurodiverse in some way, and one of the things that I've always struggled with in my life is consistency, so I just find it really hard to commit and be consistent. But I have been consistent with my class since October now, so really enjoying teaching it, enjoying having a few little regulars. It's just a really lovely feel-good thing to do on a Wednesday evening. So yeah, if anyone wants to join in, look out for my story. I always post a story a couple of days before Wednesday, and you just message me on there and then we can book you in.
A £1 80p charge has scuppered a whole house sale. There's this thing called the Rent Charges Act of 1977, and it basically means, I won't bore you with the details, but it means that anyone who owns this house is going to have to pay £1.80 until 2037, when it dissolves or goes away and you don't have to do it anymore. And that £1.80p charge each month has stopped the house sale going through, because our buyer's lender are like, hang on a minute, what's this £1.80p charge, monthly charge all about? We don't want that there. It's like, it's £1. You know what you can get for £1.80p at the moment? Nothing. Apparently, we can pay £1,000 to try and get it like removed or something. But then I've heard from our estate agent these horror stories of it going up to some like office in Merseyside somewhere, where some civil servant will spill his tea on it, and it will take 6 months for that to happen. So I don't even think that's going to fix it. So we're just stuck here in the UK right now, and we should be in Portugal sunning our booties. I'm turning into a fucking translucent fish in this climate. You think we're going to miss these little walks, great cones when we go to Portugal?
I think we will, but I think we'll find new walks.
Yeah. You know how this feels at the moment? It feels like you know when you've sort of broken up with somebody but you still live together, and it's just a bit awkward and weird, and you're sort of like trying to get past them in the kitchen, and it's like you can feel almost like the hostility towards each other. It's like living in the UK feels like that. Although I feel like I don't recognise this country anymore, and I feel so let down by it. Maybe other people don't feel the same, so I don't want to speak for everybody, but for us I just feel so disappointed with it, so unbelievably disappointed. We just found out that our council tax is going up thousands of pounds a year, and if you don't pay it, you're going to get the bailiff sent over in a few weeks. And I remember once in Portugal when I got a parking ticket in a small car park. I opened it up, and it was just a note from the parking people to say, oh, I think you forgot to pay for your parking. It was like, €3, just, send the money here, with an address of where I could sort of send the money. That was it, no fine, nothing. Like, that's just such a small thing, but it was such a big thing for me. I love this country so much, and I've loved growing up here, but I just feel so saddened by its position in the world right now, and what it's become. I don't recognise England anymore, and not in like I'm not saying that in a way like, oh, people don't look like me. I'm saying I don't recognise it in terms of like what it is now. Like culturally, I don't understand it. Like why are people just putting up with this? There's a sense of hopelessness. Like, what do we do? What's the option here? We love our country, but we hate our system. And the system feels like it's working against us, just trying to extract as much from us as it can take. And a lot of us are just like, I can't be doing this. This is like an abusive relationship. I don't want to be any part of this anymore. You get one life. Grab it by the balls, look it in the eyes and say, let's do this. Let's rage into the dying of the light. Let's not spend our days just consuming and being depressed and numbing ourselves with alcohol and eating UPF food and just existing. It's a trite analogy now, but like we need to just wake up. We need to wake ourselves up and be like, nah, this isn't serving us. We need to do something radical about it. And the only thing radical that we can think of doing is just being like, we're going, and here's why. And then maybe other people might watch us and think, yeah, actually, I can't be doing this anymore either. And then maybe that would influence other people's decisions to do the same thing and create a happier alternative version of their future by using us as like the canary down the coal mine for that. I reckon it's going to take the UK probably about 10 to 15 years to turn it around. I think there needs to be like an awakening from people They need to rally around something, but I don't know what that thing is, or even if that thing exists, or it's just this ephemeral idea, because tribalizing over sort of, political spectrums just doesn't work. But it's the only thing people feel like they can do. Is there something we can do? I think deep down I'm an optimist, and I do think there is a light at the end of the tunnel. But I think in order to get to that light, we need to go to war. But go to war with somebody you wouldn't expect. I always think it's good to put everything into perspective, and a really good way to put things into perspective is just to highlight how insignificant we really are. So let's start by doing that. The observable universe has around 2 trillion galaxies. Within those 2 trillion galaxies, there are 100 billion stars, each with 1.6 planets on average. That's just the observable universe. The unobservable universe is estimated, get this, to span at least 23 trillion light years across, a volume 15 million times greater, but that's just too difficult for our little human processors to comprehend, so let's try and put that into a bit of perspective. Imagine every grain of sand on planet Earth represented a planet. Each grain of sand wouldn't represent just one planet. It would represent at least 1 billion planets. That's how tiny and insignificant we are. We're a speck of a galaxy buried in an infinite ocean of other worlds and other galaxies. And all we really seem to care about is whose opinion is louder. Which stranger on the internet is telling us who we should be angry at? So who is the enemy? Who's the enemy? Who's the person we need to go to war with? The person I think we need to go to war with, the person that we're really all fighting, is ourselves. Once you've gone to battle with your own ideological beliefs, your own opinions on things, your own sense of identity, only then can you walk out and have a different perspective on things. We are not the sum of our thoughts. We should not allow ourselves to be tribalized. If we find ourselves dug into some sort of ideological trench, we need to climb out of it and realize that we are just the universe progressing. It's all frequencies and vibrations and waves, and when we start seeing things like that and stop seeing things in these binary ways, I think then we can break free from these shackles and start actually progressing and understanding that there's bigger things out there than us, that we are so insignificant, and that is wonderful.